What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this prediction video. For this one we have a very crucial clash taking place in the English Premier League this Sunday on the 5th of May as Liverpool host Tottenham Hotspur at Anfield. Now, the last time these two sides went head to head was on the 30th of September last year at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. It was a very tense encounter that was, I would say, plagued with a lot of controversy. But the scoring was opened in the 36th minute through Son Heung-min after an incisive move between the South Korean and Richarlison just splits Liverpool wide open. Liverpool did strike back in injury time in the first half, way late. 4 minutes of injury time in, where Cody Gakpo is played in. He manages to spin 360 degrees right all the way around and still manages to find a finish. And eventually Tottenham Hotspur found their winner in the 6th minute of injury time in the second half after Pedro Porro plays a cross in, and unfortunately Joel Matip gets on the end of it and puts it past his own keeper. The scoreline 2-1 to Tottenham Hotspur in North London. What the scoreline doesn't tell you, however, is that Liverpool had to play the match with 9 men after red cards in the 26th minute to Curtis Jones and then in the 69th minute to Diogo Jota left the Liverpool side playing with just 9 men. Whether those red cards were deserved or not doesn't really matter right now, because at the end of the day the scoreline still reads that Spurs won. But I think what was more controversial was the fact that Luis Diaz was actually played in behind Spurs' defense early on in the match, found a finish, and somehow VAR adjudged him to have been offside when he clearly was still onside. A lot of controversy, a lot of room for debate, but the final scoreline still reads Tottenham Hotspur 2, Liverpool 1. We start off our team analysis with the home side here being Liverpool. The last 5 fixtures for the Reds have ended in 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. Their last match was a disappointing 2-2 draw away at West Ham United. In their last 5 fixtures, Liverpool have scored 6 goals but conceded 6 as well. The most crucial player, I think, for Liverpool this season has got to be Mohamed Salah with 24 goals and 13 assists. Liverpool have proven that they are still very dependent on Mohamed Salah. In their last 5 games, Salah has really been lackluster, and unfortunately his teammates have not stepped up to shoulder the burden. And this shows that the Egyptian is still there out for goals, still there out for assists, and the team still have this mentality of pass the ball to Salah and let him do his thing. Next up, I want to talk Darwin Núñez with 18 goals and 13 assists. During the periods where Salah was injured or away at the Africa Cup of Nations, Darwin Núñez stepped up. He was getting goals, he was getting assists, he was looking like the future of Liverpool. But it seems like since Salah's returned, Darwin Núñez has faded back into the background. He's sort of started playing second fiddle again, and it's been very disappointing from him. Hopefully the Uruguayan finds his creative boots again as soon as possible. And finally, I want to talk Virgil van Dijk with 4 goals and 2 assists. Liverpool's Dutch captain has been struggling in recent weeks. He's usually the epitome of a solid defender, a great leader, a composed centre-back, but he hasn't really looked like that in the last few weeks. Liverpool are still very much in the title race, but it would need a bit of responsibility and a bit more leadership from their Dutch rock at the heart of their defence. Okay, on to the away side. Now, the last 5 fixtures for Tottenham Hotspur have ended in 1 win, 1 draw and 3 losses. So their form coming into this one is not looking that great. Their last match was a 2-0 loss at Chelsea. This follows them losing at home against Arsenal in the Premier League as well. So it's back-to-back defeats in London derbies for the Lily Whites. In these last 5 fixtures, Spurs have scored 6 goals, but they've conceded 11. So they're really shipping it in at the back right now. The standout player for Spurs this season has got to be Son Heung-min with 16 goals and 9 assists. I think Son has a similar problem to Salah right now, where his team has just become so overly reliant on him to the point where it's actually dependency. If Son cannot perform, then Spurs struggle to perform. They look to him to do everything, and you can see that the weight of that expectation is starting to slowly crush him. Next up, I want to talk Dejan Kulusevski with 6 goals and 3 assists. Kulusevski was brought into Spurs to perhaps replace Son out wide, since Son would now be shifted more centrally and higher up the field. Right now, I feel Kulusevski plays best with the ball at his feet, able to pick out players, able to create attacking plays from out wide or from deeper. But I just feel like Kulusevski has really struggled with consistency this season. And it's really shown in where Spurs are right now. And finally, I want to talk James Maddison with 4 goals and 7 assists. Maddison was brought in to fill that number 10 hole that Spurs had vacant after Son was shifted higher up. Son can play in so many roles that shifting Son up front meant that Spurs had to go out and find multiple players to plug all of the holes that Son could plug on his own in midfield. And Maddison was expected to come in, get good passes, get crazy assist numbers, and a few decent goals in it as well. And he's just failed to live up to expectations. I know James Maddison came into the season with a few injuries and struggling to find himself in terms of his fitness, but I think he's had enough time now to be able to grab the season by the scruff of the neck and be able to just be a saving grace for Spurs. But I feel like he just has not done enough. He's really been below expectations for me. Okay, on to the head-to-head in the S3M2 Verdict. Now, the last 5 fixtures between Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool have ended in 2 wins for Liverpool, 2 draws, and 1 win for Tottenham Hotspur. Coming into this one, the Spurs have scored 9 goals against Liverpool in those last 5 fixtures, but Liverpool have scored 10. Curiously, in those last 5 meetings between the two, there have been no clean sheets for either side, so both score freely. When we look at the league table, however, Liverpool find themselves 3rd with 75 points. I would say still very much in the title race, while Tottenham Hotspur find themselves 5th with 60 points. Spurs are trying to qualify for Europe by finishing 4th and thereby qualifying for the Champions League. I think right now, while the two sides have struggled to keep clean sheets against one another, it is curious to note that they haven't kept clean sheets at all in their last 3 fixtures. For Spurs, it's actually worse. They haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 5. Both teams seem to be struggling from a case of over-dependency on certain players, and then those players don't perform, and as a result, the team doesn't perform. For Liverpool, as I said earlier, it is Mohamed Salah, while for Tottenham, it is Son Heung-min. I think the difference, however, is both sides are now looking fragile at the back as well. Whereas in past seasons, Liverpool just overwhelmed the opposition with their sheer attacking quality, right now they're struggling to defend, and it's looking like it's really become a problem for them. Salah has been misfiring for the last few weeks at Liverpool, and without Salah getting goals, they seem to have dried up at the top as well. I think disappointingly for Liverpool, they lost in the Merseyside derby against Everton, and that was a fixture that Liverpool would have been expected to win. That loss kind of, I would say, really dented their title charge, but didn't take them out completely. For Spurs right now, back-to-back defeats in London derbies against Arsenal at home and then away at Chelsea means that their confidence is really taking a knock right now. I think Spurs, however, are looking just super toothless up front. A side that looks like they are struggling to find chemistry with one another. They're getting goals, but it's not goals from great attacking play. It's goals where they're capitalizing on opposition mistakes. I don't think Liverpool are the team to make mistakes at the back, and if they do, I think they have so much sheer quality up front that they can make up for it with goals, even if it's looking a little dry right now. I think this comes down to who wants it more. What's more important, Liverpool maintaining their title charge or Spurs qualifying for the European spots in the Champions League? I think it will be a case of both sides conceding. I think it is obvious as well that Klopp has started to lose a little bit of control at Anfield, where his players have started giving him a bit of smack talk, I think. But I think still they're going to want to win this for him, knowing he's leaving at the end of the season after a fantastic tenure at Liverpool means that they will still try. I think Liverpool will make 1 or 2 mistakes at the back, But I think Spurs will become overwhelmed by the magnitude of this fixture and just the overall intimidation of that crowd at Anfield. I think Liverpool come out on top here. I think they just give Spurs too many problems that Spurs just don't know how to deal with. I think players that Spurs have to be very concerned about would be guys like Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, and Mohamed Salah. But I think Spurs have a bigger problem in their own defense right now, missing players like Udogi due to injury, and then having to be concerned about players like Romero going in and flying into rash challenges. I think Liverpool come into this one with a lot to prove, but also with a massive desire for revenge. I think my final score prediction here is going to be Liverpool 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1. I think Spurs get a goal, it's just not enough. I think Liverpool just keep hitting them on the counter attack over and over again, and I think Spurs really struggle to deal with that. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time. And the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.